There it is, my little drum outro. Thank you, Alex, for throwing that on there because that cues me for when I'm actually coming on here. Let me lower that a little bit. All right, welcome to the Filthy Truth. My name is Lynne Nelson, and we are on a different night. I am sorry for that, but tomorrow night we are going to see a Janis Joplin tribute band, so I'm pretty stoked for that. Can't wait to go and hang out.
Trying to convince her to stream it live here. I'm trying.
We might actually, I'll throw some stuff live, and of course I'm going to air that because Janis Joplin, I mean, I remember back in Winnipeg, there was a girl who sang just like Janis, and I'm a huge fan of Janis Joplin, so that's going to be an awesome night. A little bit of getaway. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Filthy Truth. It is Monday, and of course, Monday for me is always fun day. I love Mondays, actually, believe it or not. Posted what I did for my workout this morning, so if you guys want to see what I did for a workout, head over to my Instagram stories. It's the _real_ Lynne _Nelson on Instagram, and take a look at my workout. It was a mile run, 100 dumbbell snatches, and 100 squats, just because I could do it and it was fun to do it. But yeah, guys, rub it in your face because we can't. Hey, listen.
We're fighting. I went up and down my stairs 32 times today.
There you go. See, that's a great modification. That's one of the mods that we usually do as well when we can't do any running, is just a bunch of stairs. So that's awesome. You guys make sure to like and share the video so that we can get the numbers up. We can get beat those dang algorithms and make sure that everybody is seeing the show, because I'm getting hit hard with them. Of course, most of us who speak the truth are with Facebook. You got to love that shit. So this is going to be anybody can answer this question, but I'm going to be surprised if it's not a guy that hops on this one first. This is our monstrosity giveaway. Paulina never got back to me on time, so I'm going to tell her what she's giving away today, which is a burger meal. So you guys are going to get a monstrosity burger and a side of fries, and that's going to be from Monstrosity Burger. So make sure that you guys go there and support these guys, because they are always there, fighting the way and paving the way for businesses to reopen as per normal. So the question tonight is, Alex, are you ready? What was the name of the bad guy in Die Hard? Die Hard 1, not Die Hard 2.
The original.
Yes. Alex is not allowed to say it. It took him a minute. That's part A.
I knew all the answers. I know all the answers to all the bad guys. I own all the movies. Fuck you. Didn't take me.
Die Hard is one of my favorite movies. I've loved that movie from the first time I saw it. But yeah, what is the name of the bad guy from Die Hard? Let me see here. No, we're not. We don't have it. There it is. Joanne Nada got it. Joanne Nada got it. Hans Gruber. There it is. All right, I'm going to write your name down, Joanna. Or is it Joanne or Joanna? Sorry, I don't have my actual reading glasses on. I just have these. There it goes. All right, cool. Hans Gruber. All right, part B, because this is going to lead me into our new old sponsors. So Resistance Coffee is back. We are back with Resistance Coffee. We actually have affiliated with Resistance Coffee because they are actually really good coffee. I know Alex over here, got to go this way. he orders the bags of coffee pretty religiously. And so we are now affiliated with Resistance Coffee. Super stoked with that. So part B of the question is, for a free bag of Resistance Coffee, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
I know the
Is
answer.
Die Hard?
I know the answer.
Me. I want the coffee.
Me.
Who's gonna answer that one? Oh yeah, like everybody says yes. All right. That one we're gonna have to pick a name in the hat because they all literally came on my screen at the same time.
We're gonna throw everybody who answered yes into a randomized thingamajigger. We can get it on an app, and we'll just spin it off, and we'll pick one. She has to do it. She has to do it though, because I don't know how to do that. Ask Tanya. She's smart. Ask Tanya.
Yeah, I'll ask Tanya how to do it. I do all her tech stuff for the computer, but yeah, I'll ask Tanya. Yeah, definitely. Seriously, like 10 yeses all kind of came on the screen, so we'll go through it. And it's so. Anyways, you're gonna get a free bag of coffee from Resistance Coffee. So I want to thank Eric and the boys from Resistance Coffee for coming back on board with the Filthy Truth. I still always had their stuff on. I still always supported them. They have great coffee. They have a great cause. And of course, if you go over to resistancecoffee.com right now, you can save 10% off all their coffee from now to Christmas, but they're not mailing anything out till after Christmas. It says right on the website itself. You can now buy coffee cups. They just expanded. They have a few coffee cups, and they have some gift cards that you guys can send off. And then, of course, they have this new T-shirt. It's a Castro Trudeau T-shirt. So that's awesome. And what was the other one here? Yeah. So head over to resistancecoffee.com and buy yourself some coffee and help the fight. They still are donating 10% to all of the JCCF and stuff like that. Yeah, it's right there. Filthy Truth 10. Save 10% on top of that 10%.
I could have my hand go like this, and then your hand start and just scroll.
Finish it off. Okay, but
yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try it.
Hold on.
Yeah, go this way. Oh, I gotta go this way. It's all weird.
Right?
It's all backwards. All right, guys. So
and yeah. Hold on. There's a comment. There's 5 reasons why it's not. I'm assuming it's a Christmas movie. Please explain in the comments. I would love to debate this.
Oh yeah, okay. So we'll bring that debate when Ryan comes on. Right? Because I'm not sure where his stance is either. He's my son-in-law. He better have a good stance on this one. All right. So just a few things before we get on to our guest tonight. The Filthy Truth
He'll be removed
rant
quickly from the family.
The Filthy Truth rant airs on December 31st on Take Action Canada. What that is if you guys have seen the Rick Mercer report back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, and when he would just like walk really fast in like the streets of Toronto or wherever he happened to be at, and the camera would follow him around all different angles. Well, Take Action Canada, the boys from Take Action Canada talked to me this week. We got a chance, and they believe in the Filthy Truth, and they want to help promote it. So we are on their Take Action Canada every Friday. We air the first one on December 31st. So make sure that you guys are watching Iron Will on Strong and Free Truthcast, and that's how you guys watch it, is on Twitch. And you'll be able to see the first Filthy Truth rant that's getting recorded and sent over on Thursday. So you guys will be able to see it. Once it airs on Take Action Canada, we will be airing it on our platforms as well. They're going to be 2-3 minute long clips, and you guys will be able to, kind of participate in my new venture, which I'm super stoked for. So again, thanks to the boys from Take Action Canada. Super stoked for that. All right. Real quick, before I get into just some quick news, I'm just going to introduce my guest. Before you bring him on, though, I'm just going to do my quick update, and then we'll bring on Ryan. So his name is Ryan Blackburn. He is like I thought I was sporty. I never met somebody more sporty than I am. Ryan is starting a new podcast.
I have a guy who is also really sporty, who might want to do a show and come on. Yeah, I might even have a guest for him already. Like,
boom. Look, did you hear that, Ryan? We might have a guest for you already. He is on Twitter handle. If you go to his Twitter handle, it is at Blackburn Sports with a Z. All right. To my American friends, a Z at the end of it, not an S. That is Ryan. He's going to be joining us in just a minute here before we get to that. We are going to talk about sports. I had this really dark thing. What I'm going to go quickly over is the show that I'm going to do tomorrow with Steve. But I did want to keep tonight really, really light. So Quebec is now in full lockdown as of, I believe it was 3:00 my time. Quebec went into full lockdown. The bars are closing down at 10:00 this evening. Schools are closed until January 10th. And Christian Dubé warns Quebecers that if they do not clean up their act by reckless partying at night, that he will put the hammer down even more. So Christian Dubé, a big old fuck off from us, from the rest of Canadians there, because Quebec is locked down. That means Canada, Manitoba, Ontario, Saskatchewan, all you guys, you're not far behind from being fully locked down as well. I wanted to also bring real quick that the U of M students, they're not allowed to go back to school to finish off their winter term, because of all the vaccines that are working so fucking well that they can't even go back to school. Yeah, it just makes so much sense. Manitobans today, they lined up for some dumbass reason to go and get a whole bunch of shots or tests up their nose today. I guess the rapid testings are flying off the shelves. It's such a hot commodity because the vaccinated want to test the other vaccinated to make sure that they're not poisoned from the thing that they got vaccinated from is in their body. I think I connected all the dots there. So rapid testings are flying off the shelves. Supposedly there's a huge surging number of Omicron. The government of Canada is urging you to go get your boosters. I think at this point, if you've made the choice not to get it, you're probably not going to get it. So it leads me to the last thing before we get on with Ryan is Manitoba has 200 new cases as of December 20th. So it's today, December 20th. So as of today, 54 are unvaxxed. 21 are partially vaxxed. We're actually starting to get lower than the partially vaxxed. And the fully vaxxed are 125. They are taking care of all of the high raising of the cases. The vaxxed are the ones who are getting tested. The vaxxed are the ones who are getting more and more sick. And we've already talked about that. We're going to talk about that more with Steve tomorrow. But for tonight, I did want to talk about sports because sports is always a huge thing. Even those who support it secretly these days, they are on that. But the one thing that I really wanted to talk about was the what the NHL is doing, what the NFL is doing, because I still think that that's important news to see kind of what's going to be coming. So without further ado, please welcome Ryan Blackburn from Blackburn Sports. Come on the show there, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's been all of like a walk over the kitchen. So this is my son-in-law. For those of you guys who don't know, we're all hanging out here in Mexico. We got to escape a little bit of Canada for a little bit and celebrate Christmas down here. So Ryan, thank you for coming on the show. I know that you're gearing yourself up and setting up for your own podcast. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit of what that's going to entail?
I'm just trying to make a more laid back, more casual, Canadian-friendly podcast. Cover a little bit more Canadian. I find a lot of podcasts that do sports is, a lot of Canadians don't watch NCAA or don't really follow the college, collegiate stuff as much as I do. But a lot of people don't, and I feel like if we can have a more Canadian focused podcast
Duke
covering
University!
more, the Canadian schools, we have our own soccer league as well, go Valor FC, but like there's just so much opportunity here that we're missing out on. So I just want to kind of focus more on the Canadians and see if we can make something special there.
That's awesome. So do you have a platform and an air date yet for your first podcast?
I'm thinking the first I'd like to get going. I have it marked here. On January the 10th is what the first date I would like to make my first podcast going. So I want it to be a weekday thing, 1 hour special at noon. That's the goal for me and myself. So
That's awesome.
you look forward to reaching out to me on, like I said, at Blackburn Sports on Twitter. You can get more updates then. For now, so.
That's awesome. So let's just talk about the biggest story that's happening right now is the NHL. I'm going to hop over to the NFL in a little bit, but the NHL is closing their doors for the Christmas break. What do you know about all of that?
So yeah, they're just locking down everybody. You saw that the Jets there, like they brought down their fans down to 50%, but now it's like no, you can't go to any games now. They canceled all cross-border games going forward up until December 27th. But again, we kind of know from last time it could be longer than that. They're really concerned because that the numbers are rising right now. So about 119 players right now are in the COVID protocols right now, including 5 coaches. So it is getting a little serious. You saw the last week here, we lost 37 games getting postponed in the last 7 days. So
37, you said?
37 total games in 7 days, 42 games total. So
that's crazy. So that's over the year. So the players that are being locked down in COVID, you said, what was the percentage of the vaccinated in the in NHL right now?
Oh, the NHL's. I didn't get the numbers for that, but that was NFL. I told you about NFL numbers.
Oh, that was NFL.
Yeah, NHL. I believe they're sitting in the 90%, but I know there's quite a few players still kicking around. They're not getting vaxxed. They're unvaxxed, but they have restrictions themselves. I know Bertuzzi from Detroit there. He can't go to a lot of Canadian marking games at all. He's stuck in the States only. So he's doing really good. He's fighting it. I know that Stevie Eiserman, GM, he's putting his foot down. He's got ticked off that the league's COVID protocols and the constant testing. He's not agree with it at all. So it's kind of nice to see a legend in the game going against the grain right now. So
yeah, that's huge. So yeah, because the Jets at first were saying that they weren't going to. Calgary just said. I just was reading today. Let me see if I still have that article up here somewhere. Our Calgary was saying today that they were also going to keep their the facilities open because I guess they were on hiatus for a little while.
Yep, I believe it's only vaccinated, only the vaccinated and the only ones that test that don't have negative tests can go to the facilities. So
and that's to practice right now.
I believe it's just maybe working out practice, but a lot of that stuff is getting shut down anyways due to the Christmas break. I believe the Jets, for instance, only have 2 more days of practice and they're shut down for 4 days. So
yeah, because that makes sense. Science.
Yeah.
Shut everything down and not open it back up. So with all of that, what's the NHL like? What's their plans for reopening? Are they have you looked into it much? Are they planning to go back to Canadian teams versus Canadian again, or?
No, I believe that the goal is right now, as of 27th, that they will go back to cross-border games if the restrictions allow it. There's no chatter of shutting down the league. I've been following quite a few people, and there's no chatter at all in the media at all saying that this is something to go back to only the Canadian division like it was last year. I believe the goal is to get back to normal games. I imagine the audience could, or the crowd, for instance, like if that's to be their target would be, maybe 50%, maybe less, depending on what the restrictions for each province or state wants to go with.
Yeah. So when you're looking at the sports from a whole general, especially in the NHL right now, they're shutting down. So basically, it's just practices, and then they're done until after Christmas time.
I believe there's a few games still scheduled right now. I believe tonight. I think Minnesota's playing tonight, and then I think Vegas and Tampa's tomorrow. So there's still a couple games. A lot of games are being postponed, but there's some teams still going.
Oh, okay, and that's all U.S. teams.
Yeah, just U.S. Canada. There's no Canadian teams playing no more.
So, okay, sorry, you said Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay makes sense because Florida's open, and Texas, anything in Texas, they're all open there as well.
Well, that's the weird thing is I guess again, that's why the Dallas game got postponed because again, I can't travel down to the States. So, and then Nevada's still open, right? I believe, right?
Oh, yeah. So, do you know much about? I remember a little while ago hearing the story about Evander Kane, and he had some kind of fake QR code or something like that. Is he back in the league and playing now, or did he get the shot, or what's?
I believe he got vaccinated. I know that story too. He did get like punished for that. He's actually a hot trade commodity right now. I don't know what team would want him, but he is talented. His ego is really annoying, right? So
yeah, that's crazy.
But I believe he's on the farm club right now for San Jose right now. So.
Oh, okay. Then let's also talk about the news this week. Paul Maurice got, or he I guess with what did he do?
He stepped down. He resignated.
He stepped down.
Yeah.
So the TSN actually played
the word is resigned, not resonated.
Resigned, yes.
Resigned.
Yeah,
he was dancing around the house. Let's be honest.
It's the humidity. It's the humidity, bro. I know. It's the humidity.
This Mexican weather's getting to my head. I can't remember anymore.
So on the interview in TSN, we did hear, if you actually watched the longer one, that COVID and the lockdowns really took away his passion and his fire for the game. Do you see that actually happening across the board with coaches and players alike?
Well, I know a lot of players are really frustrated with these protocols. I know that some players, I believe there's a story that's getting around on Twitter that I read a few times, that Jonathan Toews missed all of last season due to COVID. He's had a hard go to get back to his health, back to 100%. And this season alone, he's kind of struggled. I think he's scored a few goals, but I know his game's not as good as it used to be right now. So I know some players are really frustrated. The coaches, it doesn't make sense to me half the time with these, vaccine shots for players that are like top of the, they're complete health nuts that are in top physical shape. It just sucks that, the NHL can't follow the NFL way of doing things. So.
Speaking of, perfect segue right into the NFL. That's where I wanted to go. What is the protocol for the NFL as of right now?
NFL's protocol, they just announced new ones. I know what now is kicking around is that if you are fully vaccinated and asymptomatic, you no longer have to be tested anymore. It's up to you now if you want to be tested. And then if you do test, positive for COVID, it's like just 2 negative tests in a 24-hour span, and you're back in the game playing again. So, they're really worse. It doesn't really make sense that no other sports matching them. They are definitely the biggest sport in the world. Well, in our side of the world, at least. So, I know that they're saying that
I'm confused. Sorry to interrupt. I'm confused. You said that if they test positive, say Friday they test positive.
Yeah.
If they go on Saturday and get 2 rapid tests done and those are both negative, they can play on Sunday?
It has to be within it has to be 24 hours apart, the test. So say if they went at noon Monday, on Saturday. Sunday. Yeah.
But they could come back with a positive Friday, 2 negative tests Saturday, Sunday, and then play Monday.
Play on the Monday. Monday.
It's science, Alex.
Yeah.
Science.
So the NFL is going completely the other way with it. They're opening up. They want their fans in. Of course, that was a big hit. The NBA, I know that the NBA kind of followed a little bit of what and the NFL was doing a little bit there with certain players not letting, do you know about the players who want to go into states as like California or New York and they're unvaxxed? Are they allowed to go in and play?
I know that traveling teams, the rules and it doesn't make sense. I know, for instance, where I think we talked earlier about the Kyrie Irving situation in Brooklyn. Yep. He's not vaccinated. He can go. They just brought him back. He's gonna be playing road games only. He can't play in Brooklyn because of New York doesn't allow that. But a traveling team can have an unvaccinated player go play there, but a home player can't play there because of the restrictions there. It makes zero sense. Again, I don't understand. Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's interesting. So throughout the podcast of your new show that you're kind of developing, like you want to talk about Canadian sports and really hammer home the Canadian sports. Are you going to be talking about athletes? Are you going to be talking about, the games? Like what's kind of the show structure going to look like for you?
I just more like just highlighting the bigger games in Canada, and then I will touch base with a lot of the state stuff too, because I am a big Kansas City Chief fan. I love NFL a lot. It's my favorite thing in the world. So I will touch. Yeah, so I just wanted to be more like touching the news aspect of it. There's a lot of good stories that the players are doing outside of the sport that doesn't get really talked about that much. So I just want to touch base on that a little bit more, and let people know that these athletes are actually good people, and we should focus in on that too. So
yeah, I agree. The whole Aaron Rodgers story has me really intrigued as well. So he did the same testing protocols as Joe Rogan when he tested,
as well as Dana White too,
and Dana White as well. What's his status now? Is he playing? What's going on with him?
He's playing. He's allowed to play all he wants now. But I think that that because he is unvaccinated, he can't partake in any type of activities outside of the road game. So when he is traveling with the team, he's pretty much locked to his hotel or to the if they're practicing, that's it. That's all he can do. He can't go wandering around the city, going for dinners. And that he has to stick with the team only. And that's it.
That's interesting, eh? Because but again, if that's the ultimate decision between your health and not knowing what's in that stuff to being locked up in a hotel room for a couple days, it's not a big deal. So is anybody else like a high name like Aaron Rodgers at NFL or NHL or any sport at that matter, have they tested and positive, and have they gone through kind of that ivermectin protocol as well, or are they just kind of isolating and not big stories being told there?
There's no big stories getting talked about COVID. The athletes that they're not even mentioning. Aaron Rodgers was a shocker to me. I did not even know that he was not vaccinated, because the way that he sounded like he told the world that he was vaccinated. So when he got called out on it, that he tested positive, and it came out that he wasn't, that was the big shocker for me as a sports fan. And there's no other athlete to really talk about saying, fighting back. For instance, I just read just the other day
that him for lying.
Just yesterday, I saw a highlight from the Buffalo Sabres and Detroit Red Wings game. The one player was chirping the Bertuzzi guy, "Go get vaccinated." That was his chirp at him. Go get vaccinated. I can't believe that's a chirp in a game. I can't believe that's what's going on now. It's so silly.
That is pretty silly. That's pretty crazy. And Bertuzzi's going to be the last guy laughing, especially if it starts. If the players in the NHL start dropping like the soccer players out in Europe. Yeah, that's crazy. Ryan, before I let you go, I just let everybody know, again, just kind of give them one last big blurb about your podcast. The biggest, I guess, let's talk about, do you know what the first topic is going to be about? Are you looking for guests? Any big sports fans? What are you looking for?
Oh, my first topic will definitely be about my favorite thing, my early Christmas gift with Paul Maurice stepping down. I've been just waiting 3 years for this day to come, and I was in disbelief when I heard. I almost had tears in my eyes of happiness. But again, I will be this more a laid back setting. I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to cursing down your throat, letting you know what. But this is my view, and has to be this view. That's it. I will welcome all people that want to talk sports with me. I love it. I want to learn more. So let's have some fun. Again, like I said, I want this to be kind of a noon type thing, 1 hour segments, and just have some fun.
That's awesome.
Are there any sports that you won't be talking about? Cricket? Cricket's not a fucking sport.
Is cricket even a sport?
No.
I mean, no idea how to play cricket.
There's that one on the horse with the freaking mallets, and then there's rugby, and then there's crazy sports. Are you gonna try and go through different those unheard of sports as well?
If there is some type of historic moment that has to be respected in those sports, then yeah, for sure. I respect athletes regardless of what they play. If there's some type of defeat they're doing, or something amazing that has to be acknowledged, yes, let's talk about it, because they are, professionals in their own game.
Volleyball.
If there's some professional beach volleyball doing something amazing, I'll talk about it. Why not?
They're all amazing. Look at what they do.
So yeah, all athletes, it's crazy. It's not. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for joining the show tonight. Blackburn Sports, head over to Twitter, guys. It's on Twitter at Blackburn Sports with a Z for my American friends.
January 10th.
January 10th, guys, is going to be the first show. Make sure to tune in for that. We will make sure to have a link so that you guys can tune in live for his show. Thank you so much, Ryan. I'll see you in about 15, 20 minutes. Bye. All right, guys. So I just wanted to keep it a little bit lighter today. I just wanted to keep it a little bit more, but it was informative. I really do. It is very interesting to me that the sports, how different each league can be. And it really leads me to science with the somebody wrote science with all the money tags on it. Like to the point where players can come into a visiting city. So if you're in Orlando, we'll say, and you can come fly into New York and you're unvaxxed, you can play the game. But anybody who's in New York cannot play any games. You can only play away games, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. I see who wins the coffee. I'm going to have to throw some names in a hat because literally I got like 10 people all that came at me at the same time that said yes. So we're going to throw names in a hat and we will make sure I'll throw that announcement and I'll text the person who wins the free bag of coffee. I did see the Steve Yzerman call out. Yes. I think that was yesterday. I saw it yesterday anyways. And I was really proud of Stevie Y because Stevie Y was back when I was a kid. Like he was one of my favorite hockey players. I love the fact that he is standing up for it. I think it's great. The NHL is going backwards. I'm not sure what Bettman and the crew there is thinking of. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, but I really love that the NFL is stepping up and saying, fuck it, we're done. We're just going to play. We're going to learn how to play with this virus because it's around and let's just keep going. Like, here's the biggest thing. And this is kind of like, it really leads me to just before I leave the show tonight, Candace Owen came on and said, she was selling some clothing. She's got a clothing line or whatever. And I have to say, like, I was really proud of her for standing up for it because people still need to make money and people are still making money. The vaccinated are still working. They're going out, and even if they got the vaccine for whatever their reasons are, a lot of them are still supporting our causes, right? I have friends that are still watching my show that are double vaxxed. I still have friends watch my lives. They're all double, triple vaxxed. And, you can still have a difference in opinions, but your friends will still be there to support you and help you out any way that they can. So that's just, it's just to say, like, capitalism is still a real thing. And we're in a world right now where capitalism is almost, we're not allowed to make money. We're not allowed to share all of these things. And I think that when we look back at what the NHL is doing, they're really hurting their brand in the sense that they keep fucking shit up. They keep messing up what they try to do. But when we look at what the NFL is doing, they're actually gaining. They're winning the game of capitalism, but they're also winning the game of giving somebody, even though it's a distraction, and I call it out, they're not the ones who are discriminating. They're not the ones who are saying you have to have a vax passport to come in. Some of the cities may, and that's up to the cities. This is why I stopped watching all of Canadian hockey, NHL, because they all went with it and none of them stood up to it and none of them said no. But you can go to a Florida game and there's no vaccine passports. You can go to Texas, there's no vaccine passports, and there's a lot of other states that you can go and there's no vaccine passports. And I think that it's a very, very important that we're supporting those guys because those guys are the ones who are saying, fuck this, we're not playing part of the segregation. So I think that is super, super important. I also think it's super, super important to be able to, support the ones who are fighting. So like Monstrosity Burger, like they're an unofficial sponsor of the Filthy Truth just because I really want to be able to help them out. They help me out by giving all you viewers a chance at a free burger or a hat or whatever. And I just want to be able to help them out because I think that, everybody needs to pay a bill at the end of the day. And I think that that's super, super important. But that's, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm with you, Jay. I won't support, I don't sit there and watch any sports. I don't watch any NHL. I don't watch any NFL. I don't watch any NBA. I do not watch sports. And I'm like a huge Oilers fan, was a huge Oilers fan, huge NHL fan, and that all went to shit when they started playing this segregation game. I think it's complete crap. I think it's complete bullshit. And I think that the NHL players, if they had any integrity, like the not Todd Bertuzzi. Wait, am I thinking of his name? I'm thinking of the wrong one. Todd Bertuzzi, help me out here. Yeah. And he's standing up and he's not getting the shot. And I think that players like that need to be more respected. And I think those are the players that need to start standing up. Tyler Bertuzzi, Todd's his dad. See, shows my era of hockey there. It's important, I think, that these players they need to look at the integrity. And when you start bending over and just kind of caving in, I think that's where it separates for me. So we don't need to play that. Oh, it's his uncle. Okay. What the fuck do I know? See, I barely watch it. I haven't watched it for 2 years. Does he play like his uncle? Because Todd was dirty. Todd was a hard-nosed,
he
dirty
was
player.
A hitter and a fighter, and he was always crashing.
Just a scrapper, yeah. He was a scrapper. Do you remember, was it Bertuzzi that sucker punched that guy in the Vancouver Canucks game? Was it Bertuzzi that did that? Grabbed him and hit him from behind? Broke his neck?
Bertuzzi played for Philly, right? I thought that was a Philly guy.
He was Toronto,
But I thought it was a Philly guy who did it. I don't watch sports, man.
Yeah. See, football. I don't remember.
Football and even that nowadays I check highlights. I bet you I check out Blackburn's sports more than I watch regular sports. Just the highlights, the information, and it's like that's all I need. I don't need to watch a game at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yay! The team I won Stanley Cup! Yay!
Yeah, so it was Todd Bertuzzi that did it, and he did it to Steve Bohr from Colorado. Yeah, so that's what it was.
There you go.
Thank you guys for helping me out with that. That's awesome. I'm glad that we still have some good memories of how hockey used to be such a hard-nosed freaking sport. Yeah, guys. So tomorrow night, I'm gonna have a pre-aired show. I'm recording it during the day tomorrow. It's going to air at 7:00 Standard Time. It is with Steve Colwill. He is from Ontario. He's been a buddy of mine for about a year and a half. We kind of came together through this movement, and we talked pretty regularly until he got really banned from Facebook. He got banned for, I think, 8 or 9 times last year, or was it this year? From Facebook. He's been in Facebook jail a lot for what he posts. So you know that it's going to be a good one. I have some things. I watched this video and I have to say thank you to Todd Dubé for fucking sending me this video that I thought, well, this will be fun to watch. So I watched it first thing this morning. I'm like, that's a video you do not want to watch first thing in the morning. I want to talk to Stephen Colwill about that video. I want to talk to him about all of these things that we started the show off with, which was the lockdowns in Quebec. How far ahead does he think that they are to before the rest of Canada gets completely locked down? I bet you Canada gets locked down around that New Year's time. It just seems like that's the way they're going. They're already talking about travel restrictions. They're already talking about, I heard through, so we have this page here in Facebook in Mazatlan, and I can't remember what page it was. And it might have even been on Telegram. And I thought I saw somewhere on there that if you're a Canadian traveling abroad and you're unvaxxed, you might not be able to come back into the country in the New Year's at some point in the New Year, February or March. So if anybody has any details on where I may have seen that, can you please send that to me? Because I do want to see that. I'm a little bit disheartened that the U of M students aren't allowed to go back, but at the same time, it's kind of like an I told you so situation that we're kind of sitting here in, because we told you guys that this vax wasn't going to do shit. We told you guys that they were going to move the goalposts. We told you guys, and the biggest thing here is that people think that conspiracy theorists, and I'm going to put that in quotations, but the tinfoil hat wearers like ourselves is, we want to be right. And the biggest thing is we want to be wrong. Never, ever, ever in my life did I think I'd host a Filthy Truth show talking about the fact that my country is turning into communism overnight. Never, ever, ever did I think that my country would deny a Canadian citizen because of their vaccination status. Never in the history of my life would I have ever have thought that Canadians would have gotten so mean and so fucking nasty that this is where we're at. This is crazy. It's absolutely mind blowing. Are you Annette? Annette, are you talking about New Wales? In Australia. What was this? The NWS? I can't remember the abbreviation off the top of my head. But how are they almost back to normal? Anyways, rapid testing. If you don't know what to get that loving vax member of your family, go get them a rapid test just so that they can take one, or you can take one and show them so that you can come over for dinner. But it does leave me to this. Christmas is on Saturday. And no matter what your vaccination status is, no matter what your opinions are, family is family. If you guys have a good relationship with your family member and they are vaccinated or they are not vaccinated, time is precious. Time could never be bought back. Time could never be a thing that we take for granted when our family and our friends are around us. It's a moment where we really need to come together, unify, collaborate your energy so that everybody elevates and everybody enjoys their Christmas time with their family members. Go see your grandma, give your mom a hug, give your dad a hug, give your son a hug, give your daughter a hug, give your kids a hug, man, because holy shit, the story that Mike put out there on his YouTube page where the son committed suicide because he wasn't welcome to Christmas dinner at his parents' when he felt like there was nothing left. It's sad, and we need to make sure that we're not doing that.
What happened? A kid committed suicide because his parents wouldn't let him come to Christmas dinner?
Yeah, I think it was like an early 20s kid or something like that. I'm not 100% sure the age. But yeah, he had some mental health where it just was one thing after another, and his parents said he wasn't welcome to come at Christmas time.
Because he wasn't vaxxed?
Because he wasn't vaxxed, and he had enough. He didn't know what else to do, so he killed himself. So instead of those parents,
I hope every one of his friends who thinks that's bullshit harasses those parents and makes sure they feel bad for what they did because they caused that. I am 100%. It wouldn't have happened if you just let your doors open. Tell them to get tested. Take a test within 24 hours, man. Come over to dinner. We want you here.
Yep. I think at the end of the day that has to be the biggest thing, right? Like those parents, instead of celebrating Christmas now with their son, has to bury them. And I think that
hashtag mental health,
guys. And it's getting bad. It's getting bad. But we need to make sure that we're elevating ourselves and making sure that we are welcoming everyone. And we need to make sure that we are welcoming, especially our family and our kids, man. You cannot turn your back on your kids because they are not vaccinated. That makes no fucking sense. Do not turn your back on your parent that is not vaccinated. Again, that grandchild deserves that grandparent in their life. You deserve your parents in your life, and your parents, you deserve your kids in your lives. So let's just this Christmas season, let's just make it about family. Let's just bring it about family. And you know what? Let's just go back to some old family values that we used to have back in the 80s and in the 70s. Let's just do that. Yep. Some parents don't deserve to be parents. I 100% agree with that. All right, guys.
There is a thing called this adoption, guys. Adoption.
Yeah. Or a condom.
Some kind of prophylactic. That's the word, prophylactics.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Guys, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful New Year's. I'll see you before New Year's, but have a wonderful Christmas, guys. Celebrate so much. Have so much fun with your families.
And like my daughter says, Avis Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, yeah, for sure. Well, Feliz Navidad is Merry Christmas in Espanol. And of course, don't forget, if you guys have nothing to do on Christmas because your parents or your family members are being a bunch of dicks, head over to Bonnie's. She is doing truck bogganing on Christmas Day. So go and celebrate Christmas with people because they are all there and they are right there to celebrate with you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Feliz Navidad. And I will see you guys next week. I do believe I have Mr. Kip Warner coming on next week. Tomorrow is a pre-recorded show with Steve Colwell, so please enjoy that show. Make sure to comment and share that one just as much because we need to beat those damn algorithms. Guys, I love you, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.